Hello Physical Fiends, it is Jordan here with another Worth of Purchase where I play a game for a short amount of time to see what I think, like would I buy it myself? Today I'm taking a look at Daemon x Machina Titanic Scion on the Nintendo Switch 2. It's also releasing digitally on other consoles this week, but this is Physical Paradise and I only really care about physical video games, and this does have a very interesting and important physical release, which I will detail later in the video. I've popped links down below in the description if you just want to buy it, but for now, let me talk about the game itself. This is an open-world mech action game that I feel is very ambitious for the publisher. Marvelous are a really nice company for many reasons, but I don't always associate them with games like this. While their games are usually packed with content, they tend to do it on a sensible scale. Whereas Titanic Scion, well, it's taken me by surprise. Due to the mechs, the open world nature, and even some of the art design, it is a game that is quite reminiscent of Xenoblade Chronicles X. I think if you like that game, you should be excited about this one. But of course, it's definitely not as good. The combat, though, is a lot of fun. It's real-time action, and because you're a nimble mech this time around, you're zipping around all over the place, especially if you have a sword, and you can equip two main weapons, one to each of the back shoulder buttons. It seems sensible to have one ranged weapon and one melee weapon. There's also a shoulder weapon, as well as a thrown explosive device if you have any available. You can mix and match these weapons, and after looting many a mech corpse, you'll find yourself overwhelmed with the amount of options at your disposal. Lots of variety, and also lots of stat variations even within the same weapon types. It feels like you're always swapping for something new, but not only that, but just trying to find the right balance for you. I had a badass minigun and a badass claymore. I loved them both, but they didn't complement each other very well since they're both slow as sin, so I had to compromise and swap one of them for something a bit more snappy. I decided to swap my claymore for a nice little lightsaber thingy. You have special attacks you can do with button combos, and there is a fun grab mechanic where you can throw enemies at each other. And despite a lot going on with the combat, whether you're on the ground, airborne, having 4 weapons to keep on top of, dodging and so on, it somehow feels natural and pick up and play like. My only issue with the combat is the slightly finicky lock-on. It feels like it should be a bit smarter, and also be able to lock on from further away. That would have been nice. The open world is visually quite striking. There are plenty of moments where I said, wow, out loud, but I think the texture work is a bit rough. But that could describe the presentation on the whole, rough. The art style, the models, the textures, and of course the performance, which you will have noticed by this point. The open world sections are not exactly smooth. It doesn't bother me that much. I've played much worse games that actually got in the way of the game, but it is a shame to see the Switch 2 struggling. I think this is the only time I've personally seen a dropped frame in a Switch 2 game that I've played. I know Hitman was supposed to be bad, but I haven't played or seen that, and it may not even be a Switch 2 thing, because I have heard that other versions of the game also suffer from performance issues here and there. So the open world is not doing the game much favors there, and honestly, as cool as it was to have had an open world like this, I do think it makes the game a bit weaker. There's nothing wrong with an open world, but it's just the baggage that developers think they need to bring along with it. At base, you just have an endless list of missions to choose from, and while I've not played most of them, of course, I only play for a few hours to see how I feel, this game seems littered with go fetch me 500 of this, oh go there, fight that thing for me. I mean, come on, you'd think we'd be past this at this point. And that's all kind of exasperated by the mechanics and features that have been piled into the game and then explained via dull as dishwater text screens. When you're forced to read 3 pages of text about a mechanic and you still haven't had the chance to try the previous 2 things that were explained in the same method a few minutes ago, it is just awfully boring and actively made me not want to engage with them. Don't get me wrong, there seems to be a hell of a lot of depth for mech enthusiasts, and I'm sure I would love to delve into it myself if the game could be a little bit more caring introducing them. I could also see complaints that the open world is a bit barren. Doesn't bother me at all. In fact, I actually found it quite interesting. Like, there's always a group of enemies to fight, a supply point to open, some smaller bases or caves to explore. And I enjoyed going around doing my own thing, rather than following the side quest map icons to tell me to go fight this one enemy over there. That was boring. I just want to explore myself, and I enjoyed that part. And I know I've complained about the game quite a bit, but I do think there is a solid game in here. And the combat, which is the main thing you'll be doing, is fun. If you want to lose your soul to mindless side quests, you can or cannot. If you want to lose yourself in the upgrading and customizations, well, good for you. I will just stick with the biggest numbers, thank you very much. I can see myself continuing to play and enjoy it, if only for the horrendous characters, dialogue, and story. That's been a special kind of treat. Now, before I get into the physical release, if you enjoy physical video games, then this channel is the place to be for all the information that you need. So do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button. It will be the best thing you do today, I promise. So, the physical release for this is quite interesting. If you check the links down below in the description and pinned comment, you'll see that unlike the original game, this is not starting life out as a Nintendo console exclusive. It's multi-platform straight out of the gate. And that means there is a physical release on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and most importantly, Nintendo Switch 2. Yes, a proper physical cartridge. And not just any, this is not even a Switch 2 edition scenario. It is a bona fide Nintendo Switch 2 release, which is like a hen's tooth. One of the very few third-party releases going full cartridge, and Marvelous, the publisher, are being absolute chads at the minute. This is a big release, and they are willing to put proper preservation and consumer friendliness over profit. They are legends for that, in my opinion. And not only that, but alongside the standard editions, there are also limited editions on each console. It's actually the second collector's edition available on the Switch 2. This limited collector's edition includes a full color art book, soundtrack CD, 3 emblem patches, acrylic diorama, and 3 keychains, and all physical releases are releasing this week. If you want to purchase them, then please do so via the links in the description and pinned comments. Any purchase made via those links massively helps support me in this channel in the best way possible. We've got VGP, who are a great company and ship this game worldwide for free, and also PMP Games, who will ship to Canada and the USA for free. And I do greatly thank you so much if you do. Overall, look, there is a decent game in here, and I think if I played it longer, I would certainly come out enjoying it even more. The fighting mechanics are a lot of fun, and there's a good variety of weapons to fit whatever playstyle you want, and the customization for your mech seems like they will be good too. However, the open world bloat and mission structure feels quite tired, and the introduction of mechanics is so dull, I've preferred so far just to ignore most of it. And of course, the elephant in the room is that the performance is a bit rough. I do advise trying the demo to see yourself if you can handle the jank. It doesn't bother me that much, and I think the game, Daemon X Machina Titanic Scion, is a decent, ambitious, but flawed game. Will you be buying it? Let me know in the comments below. If you want to purchase it physically on any console in any edition, please do so via the links. And of course, go check out some of my other videos because I've got a lot of them and you may have missed some of them. But most importantly, I hope you all have a fantastic day, okay? Take care.